February 28, 2016, and we want to know, can Superman stand up to the infectious might of a Chicky Chericola?
Did you invite the God of Death to the party?
I didn't invite the God of Death.
Well, someone invited the God of Death to the party. He's bringing everyone down.
It's all coming up now on another episode of DCR.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
Destroy Citizens Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the DCR. I am your host, Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, joined as always by my cohort in crime, Mr. Brian Glines, stuffing his face with cinnamon rolls. Mm-hmm. How's it going, buddy?
Doing all right.
Apparently, I get the Daystar today.
Yes.
We're recording way too early. The Daystar is now in my face, and I can barely see you. I'm like, have my whole Clint Eastwood thing going on here where I'm squinting at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry. I'm not judging you. Just can't see whatsoever.
Gotcha.
But let's tell the lovely folks why we are here today. Why are we braving this blazing sun?
We are going to be spoiling all of the books that came out from DC Comics this week.
In their DCU line.
Yes.
Yes, the main line of books as far as...
We will not be recapping Scooby-Doo Adventures. We will not be recapping Looney Tunes.
Aww. No Master Race or anything like that. None of the self-contained Elseworld stories and things like that.
No, we will as much as I'm sure we would have loved to, we will not be recapping the Neil Adams Superman.
No, we will not. So, did you actually read that one?
No.
Oh, I did. Man, now I feel bad.
Okay.
But those are the reasons those things are not being covered. It is not us being grumpy or anything like that. We have scope. We have to maintain our scope, and that's what we're doing. So, fair warning to you all, we will be spoiling all of these books, character beats, storylines, character development, etc., etc. Now, I messed it up. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. So, if you do not want those spoiled, do not listen ahead. But we do have a lot to cover, so let's not dilly-dally about, Brian. Let us, you gotta give me a verb some week, man.
Grimace menacingly on a variant cover into the next book.
Okay, fair enough. Time to make up some lost ground.
Lost time. There's so much grimacing on those variants.
So much
grimacing. All right, and not a purple monster to be found. All right, Justice League.
Kind of big.
Kind of big. A little bit behind as well.
Yes. Well, we are.
We are.
Yes, they are not.
They were for a period of time, which caused us that to be the one book that we're still behind on.
Yes. Well, we're gonna fix that today.
Yes. So, buckle in, everybody, for the most high-level possible version of what's going on in the Justice League. All right. So, back in issue 46, while all of the recently deified Justice Leaguers were off gadding around, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Power Ring, and Mr. Miracle were left to deal with Darkseid's cronies when Big Barda showed up to make out with her husband and tell all of her old pals on Darkseid's side to sod off.
Hey, get out of here.
We are literally getting a room. Get out. All that intrigue and stuff from the weeklies, ignore it. Barda and Miracle, we're a thing. Convergence, deal with it.
Yep. It is better that she isn't just stealing children off of spaceships and everything, too, though. So that is an improvement, I think.
Yes. So the baddies go after the Anti-Monitor, and Wonder Woman decides to figure out what Anti-Monitor's whole deal is by investigating with the remaining members of the crime syndicate that they know where they are.
He remains completely oblivious to a specific thing. He does not monitor it whatsoever.
Nope.
He is against monitoring.
Yes, that's all we know. Like, but it's very, and Steve Trevor just goes, hey, wait a minute, but Ultraman and Superwoman, they are in, like, level 0 of Belle Rev prison. It's a prison that no one can break into. How are we possibly going to do that? And Mr. Miracle adjusts his pants. Is like, well, isn't that convenient?
Does the Ocean's 11 music start up?
Yeah. The 11 men.
We're going to stuff Cyborg into this food cart, and then we're going to push him in there. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack you.
So Barda, Miracle, and Cyborg and Power Ring, they go off to go bust them out of prison. Steve Trevor sticks around to get all emo over Wonder Woman.
No, he got over this. Come on,
But
Steve
Barda
Trevor.
and Miracle were off making out right in front of them. They got very uncomfortable, Sean.
I'm just saying, we finally got over that during the whole Forever Evil thing. Remember when he was palling around with Killer Ice and they were being all like, "Yeah, I don't need no woman, even
Killer
if she
Frost.
is a one." What did I say?
Killer Ice.
Oh yeah, Killer Ice. She was killer on the ice.
Yeah, Killer Ice is also known as Smirnoff Ice, my friend. Just as Steve
too early.
just as Steve Trevor goes to awkwardly lean into Wonder Woman, Nega Superman shows up to kick sand in his face. Get out of here! You're not king of the beach.
Oh, poor Steve Trevor.
Yeah. Anti-Monitor is often some kind of shadow monster cocoon, and he releases the anti-life equation from him, which is taken over by Grail, Darkseid's daughter, who becomes the new goddess of anti-life.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, whoops, yeah. Woo-woo.
In issue 47, Hal Jordan, who has given up god powers, is now following around Batron the Bat God on his little Mobius chair, floating around. Hal Jordan has created a green construct Barcalounger to follow Batman around in. It might be the best thing Hal Jordan has ever done.
This is what you look like, Batman.
Yeah.
This is what you look like.
The rest of the Super God League reconvene and realize that things aren't going too great. Anti-Monitor is reborn as Mobius now that he's finally purged the anti-life from his body, which made him the Anti-Monitor to begin with.
Okay.
Thanks to Darkseid being dead and things being in flux with godhood and whatnot. Grail explains it. Read the book.
Jeez. You weren't joking about this high level.
Yeah. So Mr. Miracle, Power Ring, Cyborg, and Big Barda break into Bell Rev to get Ultraman and a pregnant Superwoman out. When things go completely sideways, Volthoom, the Power Ring, completely takes over Jessica Cruz's body.
Oops.
Downloads Grid into Cyborg.
Oops.
Owlman shows up, but he says that the Crime Syndicate must team up with the Justice League if they are to survive.
Ooh.
Yeah. So moving on to this week.
Finally get our team up here.
Yes. So the God League and the Crime Syndicate are teaming up to try to find and stop Mobius, which includes giving kryptonite to Ultraman so he can just gobble it up like Pam Poovy.
No.
And Black Racer Flash is just ruining everything by saying hilariously ominous things like, "One of us must die this day." And it was like, oh man, awkward.
Dude, why would you even say that?
Yeah, it's just what I do. I'm the god of death. They go to find Mobius in Gotham, which is imploding into nothingness thanks to a wave of empty white and shadow wraiths, thanks to, the old Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Okay. It's
Foreshadowing.
Okay.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Green Lantern summons the entire Green Lantern Corps to help out. Mobius knocks Batman out of his chair, just tips it over, and he falls. I was like,
I should have fastened my seatbelt.
I fall and I can't get up. My goodness. Not the godhood I was expecting.
Buckle.
So Mobius is just beating the crap out of everybody, mopping the floor, flat out murders Ultraman, which Black Racer Flash can't stop because I told you so. Things are looking very bleak when in Boom Tubes a naked Lex Luthor and a bunch of parademons just crackling with Kirby energy because he's the god of apocalypse now.
Yeah, he's taking over Darkseid's role.
Yes, Grail kidnaps Steve Trevor.
Because she knows where the power's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Superwoman goes into labor to have her Earth 3 Luthor spawn, and nothing's going to be good in the Justice League Darkseid War special.
Yay!
Seems like not a lot happened, but this week I thought more stuff happened. I don't know.
This is pretty big, though. I mean,
aside from the fact that everything seems to be taking place in one single block of the DC universe.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, but otherwise, a lot of stuff's happening.
Yeah. It's also been absolutely stated that this is the end of the New 52. This is
really?
The latest thing.
Makes some continuity wonkiness, but
convergence. Well, it's basically Bat Gordon and stuff like that is already done and passed, and now we're at this point. So this is to be done after Superman got his powers back, after Batman regains his mantle as Batman, and
we just thought everything that was happening. This was happening before the DCU started.
Yeah,
because of how we would see weird Jack Kirby, Lex Luthor off and things. Like he'd retain some stuff from Apocalypse.
Yep.
So a little wonky, but I guess this was also their last ditch audible to call if DCU didn't work out for them. So
yeah, pretty much, and it gives them a big high profile thing with all the big people doing stuff. It's their flashpoint into something new, and they can go from there. Yeah. So especially when they're rewriting creation left and right, and
it feels like it's been going on forever though. Forever Evil felt like it went on forever, and this is sort of like the sequel to that.
I don't think so. It's only been like 4 issues?
8. It's part 8 of Darkseid.
Oh,
War.
is it part 8?
Yes.
Oh man, I guess it has been going on a bit longer than I thought.
Yes.
So, all right, touche. I'll give you that one. But let's not talk about things going on too long because we have new beginnings here.
Okay.
With new beginnings for you and me. Yeah. Teen Titans? Go?
Oh, okay. I'm really behind on that.
No, new writer. Greg Pak takes over this week for Teen Titans. And the Titans, where they had been left off, they are on the lam. They're in the Adirondacks trying to hide out.
Beast Boy turned into a lamb?
Well, no, actually.
He should have.
He should have. But they're on the lam because of all of the Robin War stuff and then all of the teenage vigilantes being outlawed and them breaking into that Supermax prison and, little things.
Did they break into a Supermax prison?
Yeah, the Ma when it was...
they said they did, and then, I don't know.
And then they got arrested
and it got very confusing.
Yeah, they got arrested by Alpha Centurion, and then they ended up escaping from their own arrest, and that's why they're on the lam right now. But they're basically trying to hide while Tim makes a bunch of calls to all of the big name superheroes to get their names cleared so that he can, get them out of trouble. And all Bunker wants to do
Batman's not taking my calls for some reson. I don't understand why.
Well, no one's answering.
Oh my gosh, Tim.
Some lady named Madison keeps answering. I don't know who she is. God, it's so confusing. But all Bunker wants him to do is introduce him to Grayson because,
yeah.
But while all this is happening, none of the team can stay out of trouble. They keep making, hunters are poaching in the forest. So they turn into, Power Girl turns into the giant monster Power Girl and they turn into, Beast Boy turns into a wolf and they're just chasing hunters through the woods as he said. And Tim's like, guys, low profile. Okay, sorry, our bad. We do get to see all the love interests, so to speak, start to rear their heads once more because Bunker confronts Tim about how he has feelings for Cassie, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Tim Drake. I'm a ladies' man. I play the field. I don't settle down with one woman. I'm like a bird. I always fly away.
Oh my God.
Really? That's what you're gonna go? Okay, whatever. But also we have literal Beast Boy making puppy dog eyes at Raven whenever she's around. Like he's a puppy and he's just looking up at her like, ooh, Raven. So they're pushing that angle as well. But while all this is going on, Cassie keeps hearing a voice in the back of her head and it keeps telling her, I know you feel like you're bigger than this. You're better than this. You have this I don't want to say delusions of grandeur, but feelings that you're bigger than all of this stuff that's happening around you. And I can actually tell you why that is. You just have to follow me over to London and I can show you everything you need to know. And, she's getting restless. She's getting a little stir crazy and she does have a bunch of questions about her past. I mean, she basically was on the road with her mom, who was an archaeologist all that time, and she doesn't know really where she came from or what happened, and et cetera, et cetera.
All she knows is, like all teenagers, she became a museum art thief.
Yeah, like all teenagers. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have that phase.
Where you're stealing priceless works of art from museums.
You pierce your ear, you steal a statue. I mean, it's
yeah.
The usual.
Although, actually, the explanation in this one given of the fact that she was stealing things from the archaeological digs with her mother made a little bit more sense.
Yes, definitely. As far as it was a rebellious streak against her mom for keeping her on the road all the time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was actually a much cleaner origin than I just break into museums on the weekend.
The weird recap origin I got did not make a lot of sense. This worked a little bit more for me.
But Cassie gives in and then swoops off to London, like the voice tells her to, and the Titans end up following suit to keep her out of trouble. They go, oh crap, where's she going? Let's go find her. And they finally find her in the middle of downtown London where the voice is telling her, hey, it's nearby. The answers to your question. Your father is nearby. She's like, oh my God, where is it? And the Titans confront her and go, Cassie, we said keep a low profile. You're flying around London. This is not a low profile. When suddenly they are beset upon by hyena men. Like a bunch of hyena guys show up and they're like, ooh, 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 ha, 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 or whatever hyenas
One of them sounds like Cheech Marin. One of them sounds like Whoopi Goldberg. You know how it is.
In the shady part of the jungle. You don't go there.
You don't go there.
Everywhere the light touches is yours, but that neighborhood, So,
that is the DCU continuity. We're not allowed to go there anymore.
So they end up dispatching these hyena men pretty quickly, and then Cassie just smashes the roof of this apartment building and drops down and going, my father's in here, I know it. And all the Titans drop down with her, and they're looking around. And all of a sudden, Cassie's mouth just drops to the floor, and she's staring at the mantelpiece where the petrified, severed head of her father is being used as a potpourri dish on someone's mantelpiece. And she's just aghast, like, who would do this? Who would sever my father's head and place it on a mantelpiece? That is just ridiculous. And the Titans are even like, I don't know how you actually like respond to that question. What do we do here? And finally, out of the shadows steps Cassandra. Do you remember Cassandra, Brian?
Yes, the lady with the voice box.
Yes. I guess we should probably
from
explain
Wonder Woman. Yes,
the severed, petrified head of her father. Those of you who have been reading, say, Azzarello and Chang's Wonder Woman, or have been listening to the show for a while, remember a character by the name of Lennox, who was a golem/demigod partner to Wonder Woman, who helped her.
Tracksuit wearing, lower class British gentleman.
Yes, really fun guy. We quite enjoyed him and Orion's interactions with one another.
He actually showed up before we were doing awful British accents all the time, so he got out scot-free.
Thank goodness. But he ended up sacrificing himself to save Wonder Woman by throwing himself at the firstborn and had his head chopped off. And Wonder Woman kept said keepsake as a reminder of what her friend and brother sacrificed.
I think it was Strife that put him on the mantelpiece.
You're right. You are absolutely right. Strife said it there going, like this will pay off in a year or two. Yeah. Let me plant my seed and I will be back.
Feng shui's the place. Brings the room together.
So now in the present day, Cassandra, who is one of the people working with the firstborn in that Wonder Woman arc, shows up and goes, hey, Cassie Sandsmark, you're a demigod too. You're one of the granddaughters of Zeus. If you come with me, we can resurrect your dad, get everything rocking and rolling once more again, and you can take your place on Olympus as a demigod. What do you say? What do you say? And she goes, well, yeah, I'll give that a shot. I mean, if it's going to bring my dad back to life.
You don't seem evil with this army of hyena men.
And that robot larynx that you had. Yeah. You seem very trustworthy. Wonder Woman's very good at teaching me about trust. So, they disappear in a flash of light, and the Titans are like, what do we do now? What do we do? How do we do this? When a really confused and pissed off Wonder Woman shows up, returns to her home to find it in shambles, and goes, why are there a bunch of teenagers whistling nonchalantly in the shell of my ruined apartment? Oh, and what happened to my mantelpiece? It just looks off now. Yes. But she picks up Tim Drake and is like, what the hell is happening here?
Starts throttling Tim Drake by the neck as people are. I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all.
That's how everyone says hi to Tim. That's why he's so neurotic. Every time he shows up somewhere, they're like, Tim Drake! No, but it's fun. It was amusing. The characters feel very, I don't want to say natural, but I guess that's probably a good word for it. It feels like we're paying off on some of the personality traits that have been placed in there already during the run, and now we're starting to get the payoff from a lot of it, especially since that head on Wonder Woman's mantelpiece was a story point that we even brought up like years ago. We were like, that's a horrible idea. Your namesake, the next in your line, Wonder Girl, that's her dad. Yeah. You don't want that as a decoration. You guys will meet at some point.
And didn't we find out that he was like her dad in a random Teen Titans, like a week before he got killed?
Yes. Oh, look, there's a link between the Titans and Wonder Woman.
Someone's actually paying attention to Wonder Woman. Oops.
Never mind. But it's good. It's a storyline aimed at us. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I'm automatically invested. But there is a much cleaner approach this time around. So those of you that have maybe not been enjoying Teen Titans in the last couple of year or two, or since the new 52, give this one a shot.
This is a much cleaner
least,
way to jump on.
Yeah, very much so. So next up, I think you have Wonder Woman stuff too.
I have Superman Wonder Woman 26, continuing the Vandal Savage storyline. First off, did I miss something? Did we miss the issue where Vandal Savage stole the carrier from Stormwatch?
No, you just glazed over it. I figured you went high level over it.
Gotcha. So I thought maybe I skipped a few pages or something when I was going like nuts reading like 80 comics.
No, you were just like, yeah, he stole a spaceship and he stole the Watchtower, and it was like, all right, well, I guess he doesn't care about Stormwatch anymore.
Yeah,
it's like I don't even know him.
I know. So I guess I need to go back and reread my issues. At least I was hoping, what was his name? The city guy. God, I don't remember anything about Stormwatch anymore.
Hawksmoor.
I was hoping Hawksmoor at least showed up or something.
God, I'm taking away your Stormwatch fan appreciation card.
I'm at least reading Midnighter. So, anyway, he's got the carrier. He's got the Justice League satellite kind of hooked onto the front of it. And now he's just gluing the Fortress of Solitude onto the front of both of them to help him boost the signal to pull his magic meteorite into orbit above Earth.
It is Gorilla Glue. It's really strong.
It is Gorilla Glue. I do love the fact that like a news reporter's like, it's like he's puzzled together several spaceships. And it's like, and Puzzler's just like, yes, get that branding going.
Yes, this is my time.
So a kryptonite-powered Superman and Wonder Woman try to break in, but Vandal has kicked Superman out of his fortress because of his changing DNA structure.
Yep.
And neither of them can get in. He sends some Wonder Twin-looking kids to fight them and manages to fire the Comet tractor beam off. The carrier crashes into Earth, and Superman gets crushed beneath it, pushing it away from a small town.
Dun, 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 dun. That's a cliffhanger right there.
Yep.
I feel like I can't wait a week to find out. So let's not.
Hey!
Let's go into Superman, where we continue the story because Wonder Woman is now fearful that Superman may have been smushed by this giant this giant puzzle of random things mushed together. Sorry, Puzzler, don't want to tick you off there. So she starts trying to rip off all the wreckage, trying to get him out, and even Lois Lane shows up with Metallo and goes, hey, Metallo, I know this is like really awkward, but can you go help save Superman? Metallo's like, I guess, whatever. So he goes down there, and the two of them break off enough of the wreckage to allow Superman to break free. And he's all like, hey, Lois Lane, thanks for sending Metallo to help. Hey, Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman gives him like a big hug. It's like a big outburst of emotion because she felt bad and still isn't quite sure how powered up he is and everything. And they go, okay, Metallo, I need your kryptonite. You got to stick with me because that's how I get super powered now. So you and me, we're going to bust into this little puzzle of random things put together, and we're going to kick some savage butt. But unfortunately, at that moment is when the Savage meteor gets drawn close enough to Earth so that all of Vandal Savage's spawn gain superpowers. They start growing wings and whips and lashes and barbs and claws. And there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. They are all answering the call of Vandal Savage, who says, come join me. You are now part of the new ruling race of people on this planet. So they all start showing up, and Savage's spawn rival the stars in the skies. We got actor-director Fred Savage. We got Mythbusters Adam Savage. Def Leppard's bassist Rick Savage. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Charlie Savage. The entire band of Savage Garden is there, and
oh, man,
most deadly of all, Macho Man Randy Savage, ooh yeah, has also shown up. And Wonder Woman and Superman and Metallo.
Dan Savage, they're giving really awkward love advice.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, all the Savages are there. But that was all the Savages I could think of off the top of my head. I forgot all about Dan Savage. Damn it. I was actually surprised at the amount of Savages I could pull off of my head there. But yes, it's they all start showing up. Even Wonder Woman and Superman are like, whoa, we are way outgunned. That guy's about to drop an elbow off the top rope. I don't know if I could take that. Who could possibly take on Macho Man Randy Savage in a wrestling competition, Brian?
Oh, I don't know, an entire legion of Korean gods that poses professional wrestlers?
An entire legion of wrestling gods from Korea show up to help them out. And I was like, yes, we finally got it. I've been waiting. It's Chekhov's Korean Pantheon Wrestling League.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, it's a very common literary tool.
Yes.
Once you establish a Korean Wrestling Pantheon League, you have to use them in the third act. Sorry. It was too easy. But anyhow, they end up fighting all these guys off and they're trying to just get their way inside so that they can get to Vandal Savage. But everyone shows up. It's the Wrestling League, Baka, Shadow Infused.
I was very happy to see Baka.
Yeah, I was too. Shadow Infused Frankenstein is still just rampaging across the field like a bull, just tearing
Just make sure you point him at the bad guys and don't get in his way.
Just stay behind him. He's got a train gun. You'll hear him coming, choo-choo, as he just moves across the field. Don't do it. So Superman goes, hey, Metallo, get back here. I need you to help me charge up once more, because Metallo ran away to help protect Lois Lane, because that's what he does. And Lois goes, Metallo, what are you doing? Get back in there. He needs your help to get in there. And Metallo is going, of course, well, no, I'm your personal bodyguard. There's a war here. Look at all these savages running around. I gotta protect you. So Lois, in an effort to help, weaves her way into the battlefield and kind of ducks and dodges her way back to Superman with Metallo in tow. And even Superman turns around to see her and goes, she's still looking out for me. I can't hate her too much, I guess. Damn it.
No Lana, but whatever.
So he goes, fine, Metallo, let's go. You and me, we're going to bust in here and do this thing. And they go, charge, until Metallo gets shot in the back. I'm assuming by, I don't know, let's say Adam Savage does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's busting that myth.
Mm-hmm. The myth of Metallo?
The myth of the Metallo. That's who he busted.
Metallo, yes.
Yes. So, he's lying on the ground and he goes, I can't go with you, but you need this kryptonite to do it. So Superman, take my kryptonite heart and use it to save these people. And Superman's like, I can't do that. It'll kill you, dude. That's just not what I do. He goes, yes, but your heart is for everyone and mine is only for Lois. So take my heart and fuse it with yours so that you can protect her. Very poetic for a robot cyborg dude that's just like laying on the ground.
Yeah, military brat.
Yeah, so he's a warrior poet, Metallo is.
I guess so, yeah.
Metallo is a warrior poet. It's got a poet's soul deep down in there somewhere.
Give Superman the kryptonite. Nom, 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 nom.
Yes. But he ends up strapping it to his chest like a big medallion after Metallo falls dead. And he takes out the kryptonite, straps it on, and shatters the force field with one thundering punch like, woo, I'm coming now. And that is our cliffhanger for the Savage War. A lot of cameos. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially when Def Leppard showed up in
Yeah.
that Savage Garden. I was like, whoa. See, that's my take on Savage War. Is it okay? Did you like that one?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. So continue on. I actually like the Savage War stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
the way everything kind of dovetailed together at the end, I liked that.
Yes.
It was very, very well played.
And it is definitely the entire thing of our phrase of, you have no budget, you have no limits. Go crazy with the
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I'll follow you along as long as you explain it. Although, to quote Aco620 on Reddit, when Hoarder Root died this week,
Yeah.
because Salvax, Vandal Savage gave Salvax an axe coated with poison and computer viruses
Yes.
to kill him. Aco620 was like, I find it a little weird that they were able to kill Hoarder Root with an axe covered in poison and computer viruses, but it is a child in a Viking suit protecting his immortal caveman father, so it's kind of comic book logic all the way down.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I love. That's what I love right there.
Yes. Yeah, I could have given him a MacBook and it would have been perfectly fine, but...
So do some more Superman for us.
All right, Superman, Lois, and Clark, number 5. This is the old continuity Superman living in the new 52, thanks to Convergence. So in a flashback, we find out that old continuity Superman almost revealed himself to new 52 Batman. Now that we've justified putting Batman on the cover, let's get back to our story.
Actually, you're kind of glossing over that. It was a nice little scene where he misses his best friend.
He
And
misses his best friend, and he stopped a ninja arrow from hitting him in the back of the head with his heat vision. And
yeah.
Batman takes a look at the heat visioned arrow and kind of looks off in the distance and sees a silhouette of Superman flying away across the moon. He's like, wait a minute. minute. My Clark wears a cape. What is this? All black?
I just like the fact that he was just watching over his best friend,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't like his best friend.
Yeah, it was very nice. So, Blank, the telekinetic albino madman, buried old continuity Superman under a mountain and is about to go terrorize old continuity Lois and their son, John. Luckily, he unburies himself from the mountain and he fights Blank. Hank Henshaw, the astronaut who in the old continuity was destined to become Cyborg Superman.
But that role is filled.
That role is already filled, but old continuity Superman doesn't know that.
Oh, fair enough.
He
fair
never
enough.
crossed over with Supergirl.
Yeah.
He never stood off in the distance and looked at her awkwardly on top of a building somewhere. So Hank Henshaw is able to slip away from Blank and gets into one of Clark's trophy spaceships and blasts Blank. Superman puts him back in a prison cube, and he can't believe that the cyborg Superman of his timeline is a super nice guy here. We also find that he has two other prisoners who he is actually trying to help. A purple lady named Dratania, who can't leave her cell or she dies, and some Sasquatch guy named Klon, who I'm guessing can only survive on beef jerky. So Clark drops off Henshaw since he's not a threat, until we find out that the ship that he fired the weapons out of didn't have any weapons.
Uh-oh.
Hank had a stone that gave him power and makes his eyes glow. A stone?
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, in space, completely unrelated to this, some lady in some mist, I guess she was taking like a space comic book shower, I don't know,
Okay.
is coming to find the Oblivion Stone.
Uh-oh. That's a pretty big plot device thing, isn't it? That's shown up once or twice in the past.
I don't know if it's actually if it's like an actual thing from old comics and I'm just forgetting it. I just know that at the end of every issue of Lois and Clark, some space guy is like, I'm looking for the Oblivion Stone. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also in this issue, some guy gets out of prison and is given a suit of armor so he can be America's next top badass.
Is that a thing?
That is a thing.
Oh, well, sweet. I want to sign up for this. I'm pretty badass. Look at me.
Oh, yeah. Well, this guy got out of
Listen
prison.
to this nasally tone and this high-pitched whine. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty badass right there.
Yeah. Clark gets back to Lois and tells her that her editor got kidnapped by Bruno Ugly Mannheim, and they wonder if they should tell John that his dad is Superman, and John's newfound superhero...
But not that Superman. Not the one that you've probably seen on TV.
Yeah.
The other Superman that came from a different time. You know what, John? Let's not really explain your history. Let's just say your mommy and daddy love each other very much.
Yes. And anyway, John's newfound superhero makes him super excited, and he busts out his old Superman t-shirt they bought for him in Metropolis.
Aw.
Yeah.
See?
He's gonna jump into things all head first.
I can get
All
behind
he needs
that,
is a robot.
John.
All he needs is a robot named T-Bob, and he's set.
But, I mean, in comparison to the John we were seeing in the Teen Titans stuff,
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is like so much better.
Yeah, Khan. John.
I had no
kind
problem
of
with
adorable.
Khan just because he was raised in a test tube and didn't have the social graces, etc.
Yeah.
Blase blue. John was stolen from an alternate timeline and raised by Harvest to be a sadistic murderer, and then just arbitrarily decide, I don't really want to be a murderer.
Yeah.
But I do like murdering. It's like, well, no, you gotta pick one here, buddy.
Well, this John, the old continuity Lois and Clark John, is an adorable Superboy.
Yes. So let's keep this one around post rebirth. I'm
Yes.
just saying, keep this one around. So next up, I have another version of Superman in Deathstroke because
Really?
he's on Bizarro Muscle Beach. Ooh, yeah. Rrr. And they're all flexing because remember he was looking for who kidnapped his daughter Rose, aka Ravager, and the tracker he was given by his friend Ruiz leads him to LexCorp, and he smashed his way in. Fought off Mercy Graves, who is Lex Luthor's bodyguard, as well as a giant AI robot Lex Luthor that's as haughty and he's Lex Luthor as a robot.
Yeah.
That's what he is. So, during the fight, he ended up smashing through the floor, crashing into the Easy Bake Bizarro ovens of Lex Luthor, and releasing 3 of the Bizarros, who immediately started flexing and gurring at him in various poses. And Deathstroke goes, uh-oh, this probably isn't good. And even Mercy Graves and Robot Lex go, uh-oh, this is bad. We should probably figure out a way to stop this. What are our protocols in case any of the Bizarros escape? And they go, well, you don't really have any. They were never supposed to escape. What can we do? Robot Lex Luthor, and Robot Lex Luthor goes, well, if we can use their unique Flarbaldy flu to resonate with their Smargastockums and reversing the polarity of the hibbity-jibbity.
Bork.
But someone would have to keep them busy while we did all of that stuff. And Deathstroke is meanwhile getting punched around the room, and he's like, I'll do it. So they go, yeah, but to do it, we have to release all of them so that we can reverse the polarity of their Flarbaldy flus and let them, kind of feed back off of each other. And he's like, I don't care. You're just saying MacGuffin words now. Just do what you need to do. So Mercy jumps down there to do all that while they release all of them. And Deathstroke goes, whoop, 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 and runs around the building while all the Bizarros chase him and the Benny Hill music plays. He actually gets punched quite a bit in the face instead. But she's able to reverse the polarity and turns it on, but nothing happens because one of the cables got broken during the fight. So he quite literally Doc Browns it, as he says, and grabs both ends of the cable and smushes them together, allowing the juice to flow through and knocking out all of the Bizarros. Yay, team! Yay! So then he decides to blackmail LexCorp and says, hey, I'm going to tell everyone about your Bizarro Easy Bake Ovens unless you tell me where my daughter is. They go, well, we don't have her. You're free to look around the building if you want, but you're not going to find her here. So he follows his tracker to a box that's about the size of a head sitting in shipping, and he goes, oh, no. What's in the box? What's in the box? Yeah. But he opens it up to find just a comb in there. And it's the comb that he gave her, Rose, when she was a child, and she kept it as a keepsake. It's like the only thing of Deathstrokes that she kept. Maybe a katana as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The usual. That was the 10th birthday, was the katana.
Baby's first eye patch.
And he's like, God damn it, Ruiz is setting me up. This is all play by him to make me fight people that maybe the audience wants to see me fight. Oh, I'm gonna go kick his butt. And we find out that's not the case because we get a scene where we cut away and we see who is actually holding Ravager hostage. A old-timey Westerner zombie by the name of Lawman.
Okay.
I have no idea who this guy is. I looked him up. Not
Nowhere
a
to be
word
found,
of him
huh?
anywhere. I was like, okay, fair enough. Lawman, let's do it. Very like, old-timey, Old West style sheriff's get up with the star buckle on his hat and everything, his big wide brim hat. And he's just like, I'm gonna get that Deathstroke and you're gonna help me. And
I reckon.
Patoo. But Deathstroke goes outside to confront Ruiz and goes, what the hell, man? Why are you making me fight all these people? Just in a gauntlet of me fighting things that the fans wanted to see me fight. And Ruiz is like, I had nothing to do with it. But before they can finish their conversation, a new challenger appears. Because someone has hired Red Hood to take out Deathstroke. And he's like, hey, if you're done beating up the old dude, can I have a round? You can see my quarters there. I had dibs, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was next. It's my turn. And that's where we're going to pick up next time. So yay, Red Hood. Woo! Again, it's for as fan servicey as it is, as far as Deathstroke just fighting his way through the DC universe one at a time. It's a fun read. I mean, if that's what you want, it's an action comic book. It's supposed to be, and they are delivering on those goods. I will assure you of that. So, if that's your bag, definitely give this one a second glance.
Sounds good.
Yep.
So moving on from Deathstroke to Deadshot.
Yes. See? You see what I did there?
In Suicide Squad's Most Wanted #2. Were these originally supposed to be miniseries and they just kind of puzzled them together?
I think they puzzled them together.
Yes. Not unlike that
Or maybe backups to Suicide Squad or something.
Yeah,
I don't know
or
what they were going to do.
Those Legends of Tomorrow, that Legends of Tomorrow book they were advertising, that's like all of the previously announced miniseries, they just sort of puzzled them together as well into a big anthology. I noticed that one in the books this week.
A lot of puzzling this week.
Yeah, a lot of puzzling. Yeah, Swamp Thing, I think, was the only miniseries that actually became a miniseries, wasn't it?
No, there was a couple others.
Okay.
There was a couple others as well.
Oh, yeah, Poison Ivy made it, too. All right, so Suicide Squad Most Wanted #2, starting off with the Katana half. So stuck in Markovia, avoiding Geoforce around every corner, Katana came here to find an old lady that knew about magic swords, but instead wound up helping the citizens fight off an attack by Cobra, la 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 la.
You know what's really good at fighting cobras? Falcons. I'm just throwing that out there. I just think Falcons would be a great thing to attack Cobra La La La's with.
Someone call up Donald. So she makes friends with a drug addict American tourist and the little girl that she gave Ugly Cat to. And while she's able to save a bunch of people, she still manages to get captured when the drug addict gives her up to Cobra. She begs, la 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 la. She literally begs them to kill her with her own sword, her husband the Sword, when suddenly she gets saved by the Suicide Squad, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and Enchantress. And also the totally not going to die members, Cold Snap, Heatstroke, and Battle Axe.
They should. Oh, Masters of Disaster are there.
Oh, that's what they are?
The Masters of Disaster.
Oh my gosh.
They were the guys that tried to break them out and just got hit by a truck here for no reason.
Oh yes.
Oh, my boys, Masters of Disaster are back.
Yes. No church fire or Boston molasses flood yet, but they'll be a next issue. Don't you worry.
Masters of Disaster are growing.
All right. Deadshot.
They're out of caramel at Starbucks. Master of Disaster.
Moving on to the Deadshot half.
Yeah.
Deadshot got sent off on a mission to Gotham with not Will Smith, who has the same exact skill set as him. So he let not Will Smith take over and went to go kill his father. His origin that we really liked was a lie. His real origin is that his father was abusive and he was going to kill him one day when accidentally Deadshot killed his little brother instead because he wasn't good at shooting.
I guess. I kind of like the first one myself.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it gave him a little bit more of a gravitas, that warrior poet thing where it's like every bullet must be accounted
he was
for.
like, I heard that story in prison. I thought it was really good, so I gave it to myself.
I just took it.
Yep. So that is why he's never going to miss another shot, so he doesn't kill his brother again.
I mean, it's the same basic premise, but it just doesn't feel the same to me.
It doesn't have the same
punch. Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes to kill his father, and he's already dying. He's hooked up to life support. And so he dies while Floyd's screaming at his mom. He's like, no, I was supposed to kill you. And then he kills his mom. And then he realizes that they knew about his daughter. So they may have been playing with his daughter while he was like off in prison and doing Task Force X stuff. He's like, crap, what does his daughter know about him? That's not good. She might know that he's a bad person.
So wait a minute. The entire Suicide Squad movie is because Floyd is off murdering his family members, so he just let Will Smith stand in for it. Here, I'm gonna put this little reticle thing over your eye. No one will know the difference.
No one will notice.
Just say gruff things all the time.
Margot Robbie might give you a bad tattoo. I don't know.
Don't get along with Captain Boomerang. Just be really angry with him all the time. You'll be fine. You're good to go, buddy.
All right.
And whatever you do, don't write a top 10 hit song about being on the Suicide Squad. Never works out.
Wicka, 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 woo. Bunch of bad guys. We might die. Wicka, 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 woo.
Okay, well, let's just leave that one fallow for now.
All right, and then Waller calls in the Suicide Squad to bring Floyd back in. Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Cheetah, and some guys with tattoos and sensible slacks who is totally not going to die. Doesn't even get a title card.
Are you sure it's not El Diablo?
Possibly.
Yeah, he's actually in the movie, so he's not going to die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tattoos,
with
sensible
the fire.
slacks, no shoes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sensible slacks.
What he's wearing. BizCaz Friday at Task Force X.
Who was it they were fighting that was all BizCaz before?
Oh, that was Icicle.
Yes, Icicle on the moon.
Yes, Icicle on the moon. On the green team.
Friday
yeah.
on the moon. I forgot about that. I just remember that being a joke for the longest time.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of just little short stories?
Diogenes Neves is drawing Katana. Looks great.
Yeah.
I'm not really feeling the story too much, but
well, that's just because you're paranoid that they're in Markovia.
I'm paranoid that
Force is going to show up.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we're a little sad about Deadshot's retcon, but they are both perfectly good stories.
Yeah,
and then mushed together, you get all your Suicide Squad action, especially come next issue. I also like Victor Bogdanovich is doing the Deadshot half. Seems to be channeling Greg Capullo a little bit. I like it.
Oh, really? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, collected, because I'm sure it'll be collected about the same time the Suicide Squad movie comes out, coincidentally.
Yeah.
do you think it would be good for a first-time reader? Like maybe if all they have is the movie?
If all you have is the movie and you're looking for more stories with these characters, there you go. You've got a nice...
So they're at least that...
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice introduction to the characters.
Good. That's basically what I was curious of, if it was going to be a good companion piece.
Yeah, if you're looking for more stories with the movie characters, this is probably the best bet. So
Fair enough. But that's it. That's the first half of the show. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
45 minutes or so. That's not too bad.
We're going to try to keep the entire episode to 45 minutes.
We were, with, media server space and all that rot, so we'll figure it out.
Wait for Tuesday.
Yep, that's what I'll do, probably, so we'll see. Brian, why don't you tell the lovely folks what we have coming up for round 2?
Justice League 3001, The Flash, and Cyborg.
And I have Batmanception and Batman and Robin Eternal. Let's all go to the fair in Aquaman. Grayson goes absolutely bonkers again. Let's be fair, again. Yeah. And I'll wrap it up with a little We Are Robin. So hold on a couple seconds. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will run through those books.
Back.
We are indeed. Brian, last week we talked Batman and Robin Eternal. And something happened at the end of Batman and Robin Eternal that maybe made us both, our eyes lit up, and we were like, yeah, now we're getting to the fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little boy by the name of Damien showed up, finally to bring his joy to the book.
And his pet werebat.
And his pet giant werebat as well. And this week, I cannot help but go, yes, I cannot wait to jump into this. And it's a flashback issue.
Just when we thought we were getting to the fireworks factory.
Just right then, it was like, nope, it's the next block over. And I was like, you sons of bitches. No, honestly, it's a great issue. It is what did Batman do after Mother, quote unquote, killed herself during their first meeting years and years ago? And it follows him as he's trying to figure out what happened, what's going on. And it's kind of eating at him a little bit that Mother was saying how similar they were. They both take traumatized children and mold them into what they need them to be. And that hit a little too close to home for Batman, where he's like, I can at least see where there might be some tangentials there, and I have to at least find out why she was doing it. How alike were we? Did I do something wrong? Am I doing everything wrong right now with Dick Grayson here? And he flies on over to Eastern Europe, where he meets an older lady who knows the origin of Mother. He tracked it down, did his detective stuff, finds her, and she is absolutely shocked that someone is bringing it up and knows even that Mother exists, let alone that they've pinned it back to her. And she kind of sadly tells the tale, like, just, I guess, if you found me, if it'll get rid of you, here's what happened.
Soviet Russia, orphan adopts you?
Very close.
Really? Okay.
Very, very close, actually. Mother is from a Eastern European country that bordered the USSR. And it was kind of a escape outside of the USSR, so all the soldiers would go there to do illegal things in the USSR that weren't illegal there, and they would drink and party and have fun, so it was kind of tolerated as this little tiny resort country on the border. And finally one day, a Russian soldier chokes on a chicken wing. It's blatantly what happens. And the other soldiers there think it was poison.
Brian Boitano?
Yes.
But chicken wings.
The other soldiers think it was poison, and they all attack, and Russia uses it as an excuse to annex this country into the USSR, and they show up with troops, start murdering people left and right, including Mother's parents, and Mother just kind of snaps and breaks when this happens, and just lays on the dead body of her parents. And as the soldiers go around making sure everyone's dead by stabbing the bodies with bayonets, she just takes all 7 stabs and continues to lay there without blinking an eye. And then when all the soldiers leave for the barracks and go to sleep, she gets up, picks up a knife, and murders every single one of them in the night. That is pretty metal. You have to admit, that is pretty metal. And she ends up continuing on her journey, and this old lady that Batman is talking to now finds the blood-soaked, knife-wielding Mother just walking down the street, just covered in rags and blood, most of it not hers, and goes, hey, you look like you've had a rough day. why don't you come home with me? We'll get you cleaned up. We'll take care of you. We heard about what happened to your country. Clearly you're an escaped refugee. Brings her home, and the lady's parents go, no, you do not bring blood-soaked, knife-wielding maniacs into our house. It's bad news, I'm telling you. And an argument ensues in which the parents hit the girl at the time, and so then everyone goes to bed. They allow her to stay one night, and the girl wakes up to mother slitting the throat of her parents and saying, I'm setting you free, and now you can live to your full potential because they were beating you and being mean, and now you're free, and now I will be your mother, because in Soviet Russia, orphan adopts you. See, you weren't too far off. You were not too far off at all.
Yakov Smirnoff, the storyteller of the ages.
So Batman is content that he is nowhere near as sadistically crazy as Mother is, and he goes, okay, yes, there may be tangentials, but obviously in the fine details, there are some differences. I feel a little better about myself. Hey, old lady, don't worry. Mother's dead now. You're free. You're safe to do whatever you want. I'm outie. See you later. And he jumps in his car and drives away. She actually chases him out. Like, get out of here. You bring too many bad memories.
With a broom?
Yes. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Get out of here, Bat. And he ends up leaving and going home. And the old lady just kind of stares out the window and goes, just make it quick. And the not dead mother comes up behind and knifes her in the back of the neck up through the skull. And she drops dead, and Mother just stares out the window as Bruce Wayne drives away, shaking her head like, oh, Brucey, Brucey, Bruce. Brucey, Brucey, Brucey. But Batman returns home, vowing to be a much better mentor. Maybe I will not just make them just child soldiers. Maybe I'll at least allow them to have a childhood as well, and try to make them better people all around.
Tim Drake is a real uphill battle, but you know.
Well, he still has Kid Dick Grayson at this point.
Okay, gotcha.
So he's just trying to keep him away from too tight-fitting pants and stuff like that. No. Wear cargo pants, Dick Grayson. Just do it. And he comes back and watches over Harper Row, but refuses to bring her into the family, even though she's absolutely perfect for what he would need. And he even does the whole scare thing against Harper Row's dad of, you're going to stop being a criminal, you're going to get a job at the electric company, you're going to show up there, the job's waiting for you, you'll show up every day, you'll do your job, you'll take care of your kids, and if you don't, I'll be watching you. So he's obviously still not good at the whole dad thing, but he at least goes semi-straight and narrow to help out. And it's basically Batman has been watching from the shadows the whole time to make sure Harper Row isn't absolutely destroyed by the city, and his actions in getting her parents killed, so, or at least his part in it, since he was playing the long con with Mother and saying, yeah, build me a Robin, and she went and murdered his parents, or her parents, so that Harper Row would be that Robin, and now he's like, it's kind of on my hands a little bit,
Yep.
He's a little bit, I could probably send a check or something, but I'll just scare his dad, or her dad, and see how it goes from there. Really great issue. I wanted to be bitter because it was the Damian setup, and it did not pay off the next week, and I was like, oh, god damn it. But it still ended up being a great backstory. It makes Mother a much better foil for Batman because of those tangentials and the links in their reasoning into why they do things and why they're trying to protect people that they care about, but through different methodology, and that's really the only difference between the two of them. So it was good. I enjoyed it. I have to admit, didn't expect to. I thought I was going to be pissed. I thought I was going to be really pissed off, but I wasn't. So kudos to that. You climbed an uphill battle, much like Tim Drake, and came out victorious, unlike Tim Drake.
Yes. All right. Justice League 3001, number 9. So the all-female Justice League 3001 has split up, and they are trying to figure out how to defeat Lady Styx and her Scullions by investigating various places they've hit throughout the universe.
Okay.
Lady Styx has gotten Wonder Twin Terrence Magnus out of a lobotomized stupor by giving him the Eclipso gem.
Oh, that seems like a great idea.
Yeah, so
he was already pretty stable, so
yeah. So now give him the Eclipso gem, turn him into an Eclipso monster, and we'll see. That'll work out just fine.
Yep. It'll be A-okay.
She's put him in charge of the Legion of Death, this timeline's evil version of the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, nice.
Who quite possibly could be the entire dead Legion that we saw on that one throwaway bit in the Starro Planet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually be a pretty good callback.
Yeah, what we thought was just a throwaway one-panel joke.
Yep.
Since we're not getting the rest of the Starro storyline going to be finished, so So many great little stories just sort of got thrown away for the new direction.
Well, I mean,
Unfortunate, but it
yeah,
happens.
it happens. So,
Yep.
and there are threads that can be picked up at some point in the future, should they ever choose to. Mm-hmm. It just will be a awkward return, but afterwards we can go, "Hey, we're back here again."
Yep. So, and in the backup story, Ariel Masters and Lois Lane 3000 are still alive, and they've teamed up on their own to try to take out Lady Styx. They hate each other. They're stuck living in a confined space. Something wacky's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
They're going to put a tape
Right down the middle?
Tape direct down the middle, yeah. We find out that Lois Lane murdered the original Superman back in the day, and now she's super mad that someone took him out before she could murder him all over again.
Everyone seems really pissed off that they don't get to commit the murder that they want to commit this week.
Yeah, it seems like that. And Larfleeze is going to show up too, because why not?
Because why not? Because it's as the internet calls it, Giffen de Mateus, rando crazy, whatever we feel like doing hour.
We're just going to puzzle together all of our favorite properties.
It's still good.
Yeah,
it's still very
good
fun.
Lord, Tina Sung, the future Batgirl, is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
She is
I
great.
think it's kind of unfair because, I mean, obviously these two have very storied comic careers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've paid their dues 20 times over already over the years, as far as, this is what editorial wants, give editorial what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like their chance to just do whatever they feel like doing. And it's really coming out great. And I kind of wish it was and again, I'm speaking out of turn because I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but I do know there's obvious editorial mandates that occur, i.e. Will Smith showing up all of a sudden. And it's nice to see writers being able to just do what they feel like and not be beholden to that continuity. As we saw, DCU didn't work out too well with that theory, as far as fiscally speaking. Story-wise, there were a lot of great stories, but this is one of those things that's kind of the shining example I use of, if you read this, you can see what happens when you give good writers the freedom to do whatever they want and good artists to draw the zaniness that comes out of these people's minds, this creative team's mind, is absolutely fun. Yeah. I guess we'll see where we go from here.
Yeah.
Just League 3002. Think it's coming?
Here's hoping.
So next up, Aquaman. We just finished that giant war against Thule. The war has come and gone, and Aquaman is taking a breather back home in Amnesty Bay with his fiancée Mara. They're chilling, relaxing. I don't know, maybe
Shooting some b-ball outside of school?
They are. They having some tasteful sword action, all those things. So things are going pretty well. And he knows, deep down, Aquaman knows that their isolationism, Atlantis as well as his own during the Thule War, he refused to call in his friends, almost destroyed everything. So maybe we need to stop and rethink about all this. But the banter is broken up when the local officer, the female officer that works in Amnesty Bay that's been popping up every now and again as a side character, whenever he comes back, she checks in with them, and she's the one taking care of Salty the Aqua Dog while they're away, and she pops in and invites them both to the Amnesty Bay Sea Days Festival, and it just wouldn't be the same without you there, Aquaman. You'd kind of be a marquee person to show up. And after listening to Arthur complain about their isolationist ways, Mara goes, "You're right, we should go." And a surprised Aquaman goes, "Okay, I guess we're going. But if we are going, maybe we should make this a thing. Maybe we should make this like a statement, like a coming out for Atlantis, and just bring some of the best ambassadors that Atlantis has to offer so that we can all learn from each other. The Atlanteans can dress up like the normal land folk and interact and learn their ways, and they'll, in turn, the land people will get to see Atlanteans are just like them. We're just normal, everyday people. So let's invite Garth, Tula, and Merc. Yeah, let's bring Merc along, too. He's a pretty good ambassador. Yeah. And Mara's just shaking her head like, sure, why not? Yes, let's do that. So most of the issue is Aqua Dad and Aquamom taking the kids to the fair. And it's Garth and Tula. Tula falls head over heels over the nectar of the gods known as cotton candy and keeps trying to feed it to Salty the Aqua Dog while they keep yelling at her. And Garth wants to meet the land sorcerers able to put tiny ships inside of bottles. And Merc is waiting for the epic songs and poems of his deeds as he conquers each of the challenges of the Carney games laid out before him.
Splendid.
It's great. It's just like the high school reunion
Where
issue.
will I have conquered, I have achieved the victory of this trophy of a banana and a Rastafarian hat.
Clearly, I am their king.
Yes.
This is the scepter of their king. But as the kids are playing, Aquaman tells Mera his plans. We need to have Atlantis more engaged with the surface world. It's just a given. We cannot remain isolated the way we are and continue. The people are already afraid of us due to that whole failed invasion to Boston a year or two back. Remember that? Yeah. People are a little salty about that one still, so maybe we should start, working with the land dwellers. Plus, I did kind of inherit that entire race of Atlanteans from Thule that can't live underwater. So, I'm thinking we set up a land part of our kingdom, propose to the UN that Atlantis becomes a nation recognized by the United Nations, and we start to get more involved with the world itself. We stop being separate. We start being part of the world. Do you remember when this storyline took place already, Brian? Do you? The Future's End.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, and it did not work out very well at that point. So we may be getting the setup towards that, or at least a button up before Rebirth to say, look, it was heading that direction all along.
Yeah.
But Mera goes, okay, I see what you're saying. I agree to an extent, but who's going to be looking out after these land people? Because Atlantis is obviously very far away. So who's going to be ruling these people? And Aquaman goes, well, you are. I want you to do it. You're the best person for it. You're a, I guess, outcast yourself from the Atlanteans, being from the Shelbyville of underwater.
Yes.
So you automatically understand what it's like to be ostracized. You're obviously a very compassionate woman. You obviously know your way around ruling a kingdom. I'm just saying, I did pretty awesome myself, but I mean, you did okay as well, Mera. I mean, while I was away, you didn't do too bad. Atlantis didn't burn down. It's under the ocean. I know that's hard, but you managed to do. So she goes, yeah, okay. But if I'm there, who's going to actually watch over Atlantis while you're running around playing superhero? And he goes, I'm thinking Tula. She's already part of the royal line. It's kind of her time anyway. We know we can trust her. She's an honorable person. So we'll put Tula in charge of underwater, you in charge of on land. I'll be the lighthouse, the divider between the land and the sea. And, what do you think? Is that a pretty good idea? And they return home that night while she mulls it over, and she finally goes, all right, I agree. We'll try it your way. We'll see how it works out. But if we're going to do this, I'm going to have to play the role. I'm going to have to pretend to be something I'm not to make the land dwellers feel comfortable. So I'm going to do the one thing I promised I would never do. I promised myself I would never do. She kind of goes around the corner and you hear snip, snip, cut, cut, zip, 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 zip. And Aquaman's like, what the hell's happening? When Mera steps out from around the corner wearing her exact copy of Aquaman's outfit, now donning the name of Aquawoman in quotation marks, and absolutely bitter about it, knows it's a dog and pony show. It's not actually the case. Just put your tongue back in your mouth, Arthur. It's kind of weird. I know Martian Manhunter is going to be really, really much more comfortable around me than you after that whole awkward part of his personality is really into you. So maybe this will help him out a little bit. Or confuse him even more. We don't know what's going to happen to Martian Manhunter with
Me
this,
and the guy from Mulan, we're very confused.
But it's great. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's hard to do this. This is the first issue for Abnett. He's taking over the writing duties. And I would think, and just from past experience, whenever you take over a book, you go, well, I've got an even bigger and better story than what came before. Yeah, what do you think about this? And then you go into your craziness. That seems to be a very common way that new writers take over a book. They start their gigando storyline of Dome and
I think you knew everything
scales.
before, now you're wrong.
Yeah, well, to come into it and make your first book a quiet day at the fair with a bunch of people, understanding that you just came off of a giant epic war between another dimension and saying, guys, we're due for a breather issue. I know it's my first, but we need this breather right here. To understand that in the long scope of the actual storytelling process, I thought was a very commendable thing for Abnett when he comes in, because these are the kinds of issues that divide people, where they go, well, I spent $3 and nothing happened. Literally a conversation happened. nothing else occurred. But people like me go, this is exactly what I want, is this type of stuff. So to make that your first issue is a dangerous ploy.
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to have those little breathers in between, though, where everyone catches up.
Yeah, you have
X-Men
to.
always have to play baseball after they fight Apocalypse. That's just how it is.
It's the rules, man.
Yeah.
It's the rules. So I was very keen, and I just wanted to at least commend Abnett for that, or whoever made that decision to not come in guns a-blazing, because he's got a limited amount of time with Rebirth ahead. So, I mean, he's only got like 3 issues, and to use one of them as a filler breather issue, that's a brave thing to do, I think. So, also there's some sort of monster leaping out of water sources everywhere, from as big as an aquarium to as small as a cup of water, and going roar and grabbing people and pulling them into the water, never to be seen again.
Well, that is a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing. But it's just like little 1-page snippets of someone like, well, I'm going to have a cup of water, and then a pair of like hands come out and go roar and pull them into the water.
I'm going to put my entire mouth on this water fountain. I don't care what anyone says.
Roar! Something's grabbing my tonsils. I don't like it. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it quite a bit. So, next up.
All right, moving on to The Flash, number 49. So the Rogues are working with the CCPD and are helping them catch the Flash.
Can I just say I'm so happy to see the Rogues again?
It's fun. So the Flash is either a threat or a menace, according to Captain Fry.
But what does J.J. Jameson say about them?
They're all menaces.
They're all menaces?
Yeah.
Does he bang his desk really angrily?
Yes, he does.
Does he have a large screen television in the middle of every town?
Maybe. Well, in Central City, they're even cooler and newer. They've got drones everywhere.
Oh, nice.
Telos does not care for Central City. They've got Barry Allen trying to analyze the Flash's blood to figure out a way to stop him. Tee-hee.
Yes.
I thought that was cute. Some police drones detect a Wally West at school exhibiting signs of the Speed Force. Again,
at school? Come on, Wally.
His hands shaking very fast in the bathroom.
Wait till you get home. I understand it's puberty, Wally. I know you're going through changes. You can talk to the guy over in Doomed. He understands what's happening to you. Just wait till you get home.
Yeah.
It's unsanitary, man. Unsanitary.
So the Rogues go looking for the Flash at the school. The Flash shows up to make sure none of the kids get hurt. When the Rogues attack and the Trickster manages to trick the Flash into grabbing a trap that holds him tighter the more he moves, that he got from a mysterious benefactor.
Ooh.
Yes. So the Flash is captured. Get your dad out of prison, then you go right in. Way to go, Barry.
The old switcheroo.
Yep. And Wally's one friend at school is Chester Runk, an old Wally West Flash ally, which I thought was cute.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Still a fat kid named Chunk, which is like, like, come on, guys, really? But I appreciate the nod, if anything.
Is Porkins in class with them?
Porkins is not in class with them.
Guys, my name is Stargrave. Quit calling me Porkins. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, though.
Yes,
they're
upswing with the Rogues, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's nice that they're at least bringing the characters back from the Wally West run, because that's a very divided character in the public right now. So anything that can give them some normalcy for him and make people feel a little bit more at home with him, I think is going to be a good thing. Definitely a good thing. Next up, Grayson. Grayson.
Gotta sit back and
just let it wash over
me.
Did it let it wash? Did you read this one yet?
Of course I did.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I know you weren't buying it at first, and after issue 6 where I made you read one, you started buying it, but it was a little off and on depending on your...
Yeah.
Now you're just all in at this point?
I'm all in on
Yes!
Grayson,
Turned another one!
Grayson and Midnighter, I tell you, even if I'm not assigned them, I'm gonna be,
So I'm jumping the gun here, but I saw the preview for the next Midnighter issue, and it's him like knocking on someone's door and asking to come in, and they're like, "You don't seem very trustworthy." He's like, "Yeah, I've been told my voice is kind of gravelly and very untrustworthy, so not very compassionate whatsoever, but I'm here to help."
Yeah, that's all on the cover?
What's that?
That's all on the cover?
No, it's like the preview page.
Oh, nice.
It's just like, I laughed pretty hard at it. So anyway, we'll get to that next week. This week it's Grayson, where Grifter and the Syndicate are using their Tau, their tactically advanced organism, this psychic precog thing that the Syndicate has access to, another super spy organization in the DCU. At least it's not initials with periods.
Well, the Tau, the TAO.
The Tau is, yes, the Tau. They gotta get their initials in somewhere.
If they're getting all their instructions from them, they're still technically acronym based.
Damn it! But they're trying to figure out what Helena Bertinelli and Spiral, what is the end game? What are they trying to do? Why should we be helping her? Should we be working against her? Who's the right team? Who's the wrong team? So they hand all the information on Helena over to this tactically advanced organism to piece together what the end game is for Spiral. Well, elsewhere, outside of Mexico City, in a pile of ruins, Shades Frankenstein has hunted Grayson and Tiger to these ruins. He knows they're there somewhere. Looking around left and right. Tiger's up in the trees like, oh, I think we got him. He's right now looking around thinking, ooh, these shadow agents, they're very dangerous. Much more skilled than I thought they would be. And then we just pan over to Frankenstein, who just kind of goes, and then whistles, and then a bunch of Cthulhu monkey bat things fly out from the ruins, attacking the pair and drawing them out into the open, where they are held at train gunpoint by Frankenstein. Just the exasperated sigh of, well, I guess I'll just call in my Cthulhu monkeys to help.
You know, as you do.
As I do.
Why is Frankenstein not teamed up with Midnighter yet?
Oh my goodness, that would be so great.
Oh my
just
God.
running around Russia beating up werewolves together. But they're held at train gunpoint when Grayson activates his ambient technology, which are like hard light gloves, it seems.
Yeah.
And both Tiger has them and he have them, and they knock Frankenstein back into a cold ray trap that they set up that then freezes Frankenstein, putting him on ice and taking him out of the fight. And they're like, yay! But a very, very, very conceited voice comes from behind them saying, bravo, gentlemen! Can I have my toys back now, please? Thank you very much. This is checkmate technology. We will just put that back in the bin there. And you delivered Frankenstein to me. Awesome. I can't wait to take him apart and see how he works. And Grayson goes, no, that's not the deal. If you still want Tiger and I to take down Spiral, you have to let Frankenstein go in 48 hours. And, of course, that haughty voice was none other than Maxwell Lord, leader of Checkpoint, who is going,
Checkmate.
God damn it, I am having a horrible time. I cannot puzzle the words together correctly today. But he's the leader of Checkmate and finally agrees. Very, very snarky, very, very rude. And he does leave with the, as we say around the office, boys, your move. It's like, how long does he practice that in the mirror every day?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, this is going to be such an awesome line as I'm walking in and the doors are closing behind me. Yeah, I'm going to look like such a badass. I'm going to win that Gotham Badass tournament.
That's right there. I'm sure Dick Grayson is constantly working on new lines for his theme song, which he sang a few of this stuff.
Yes. Swinging through the sky, kicking Frankenstein.
Yes. Yep.
So these two head off back into the city as they try to figure out their next move to take down Spiral. They're having a heart-to-heart, Brian. They're having a little bit of a heart-to-heart. Grayson's telling Tiger about how it's just like at camp when you're all castaways, you're all abandoned from everything you know, and all of the relationships just feel stronger and tighter, and that's just what being a spy is like to me. And Tiger's like, you know what? You're right, Grayson. I hate your songs. I hate practically every part of your personality, but even I have to admit, working alongside you, that I wouldn't want anyone else on this. And before you can even finish the compliment, he's attacked by a tiny pink robot named Keshi, who is the physical manifestation of I'm rubber and you're glue. Anything you do bounces off of me and sticks to you. and that starts having a fight with Tiger, while Grifter shows up to have a fight with Grayson. And they're kind of like, punch each other, fighting.
Come on, pull a Wildstorm Midnighter on me, Grayson.
Yeah!
Come on, do it.
They're both bantering back and forth, and he's like, you have a handkerchief over your face. Was it like a really bad day when you had to put together your costume? What is this? I mean, is that all you had on hand was just a used handkerchief? Whatever. We're going to fight, and they have their action scene. Tiger tricks Keshi into turning into a soccer ball-sized robot and then just punts it away off of the building that they're on. And he's like, yep, another good job for Tiger. And turns around.
I'm number one.
That's why I am number one. Turns around to see Grayson bleeding from his eyes because he used this hypnose to find out what Grifter knew. And we find out what the Tau actually told Grifter during that meeting, that the only safe way to keep the Ouroboros from going off is to actually kill Helena Bertinelli, and that Grifter and Keshi were sent as distractions to keep Grayson and Tiger away from the actual hit against Helena Bertinelli. And they go, oh noes! And charge off into the night to try to save Helena now, even though they were trying to disable Spiral. I think they don't have a problem with Helena Bertinelli. They just hate Spiral.
Yeah.
And the descriptions they had for Huntress, as far as like when they were trying to figure out what she was about, and the literary terms they were using, where it's like she's a white cross in a field of black, and she's surrounded herself with that which she hates so much so that she can destroy it, that she's been tainted by it. And I was like, that's a nice use for the symbolism on her costume and everything, and because she's got that whole white cross on the front there. And I was like, that's pretty good. I like what you're doing there. That's pretty keen. Kudos, guys.
Yeah.
It's not like I've never said anything great about this creative team, so it's just like they should expect it. Hey, you did your stuff again. Good job, guys. And I feel bad that it's almost expected now of Grayson. Yeah. I know it's ending in 3 months. It's over, guys, in 3 months. So, but where will he go from there? Is it time for an A+ rated Dick Grayson? Is he going to get his own book again? Is he going to headline maybe a bi-weekly or bi-monthly? Who knows? Who knows? I think I know, but I'm waiting for confirmation before I say that. Yes. So next up, Brian.
All right, Cyborg number 8. Senator Champlin is initiating a cybernetic regulation act using your tax dollars to arrest Cyborg, a man/machine that has saved this world time and time again. He's even rounded up his own group of techno-virus mercenaries to help him accomplish this. Is this the man you want representing you in Congress? You should be champing at the bit to stamp Champlin out of Congress. This message paid for by friends of Victor Stone. P.S. Vic, it's me, Shazam.
Bravo. Bravo.
So that's basically what happens in this issue. But the important thing is that among all that, Cyborg and Shazam team up to beat the ever-loving crap of Q-list supervillain, the Zookeeper, and his beast force of animal men, making as many bad animal puns as humanly possible. Now, I will say this. They are a little too encouraging with each other about how funny said jokes are. Show, don't tell, guys.
Aww.
You know? But I'll take what I can get outside of little two-panel jokes in Justice League.
Okay, fair enough.
It's still a lot of fun seeing their actual, like, organic friendship forming. Like, and screw the big guns. We'll handle this Zookeeper by ourselves.
Yeah, I think we got this one, Shazam. I think we can handle the Zookeeper. If Beast Boy can take this guy on, I'm pretty sure we can. He's just a green kitty cat. I mean, come on. We got more than that on our side. But that's great. I like to see it developing that cast some more, and adding Shazam to the mix is a great use of it.
Not getting him anywhere else.
No, we're not. Still not.
Sigh.
Still not. Even with the announcement of the Rebirth books, still no Shazam.
Nope.
I was like,
18 Superman books, still no Shazam.
Come on. Maybe Shazam is going to become Superman, like in Future's End, and he'll get one of the Superman books.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
At least they got Parker and Shaner on a Future Quest, so I got that going for me.
Yes, the book made for Brian.
Yes, and only Brian, so we'll see how long that one lasts.
The most targeted marketing in the history of comics. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up here. We are Robin. It's so hard not to do it. It's so hard not to do the bum-da-dum-dum.
I bite my tongue every time you say it.
As Smiley, a.k.a. the leader of the Jokers from Batman Beyond, you remember this guy, goes around preaching his nihilistic vision. Nihilistic?
I think it's nihilistic.
I'm pretty sure as well. The internet does not agree either,
because it comes from annihilation, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But the internet does not agree on its pronunciation, so I
Not even robot lady voice?
Nope.
Nope.
So I'm just going to say nihilistic. He's preaching that vision to the street thugs of Gotham, putting together his Joker's gang and explaining that the randomness and unexplained nature of their destruction is what makes it funny, guys. Ha ha! There's no reason why we're murdering people. It's just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's how the world works. That's how everything works. It's just bad luck. Sorry, you lose. We check up on the fragmented team of Robins who have all kind of split up and gone their own way, where Izzy is about to get flunked out of school for attendance issues. Whoopsie. But happily meets Duke outside at random, like she's leaving school that day and is just like, man, this sucks. Nothing's going my way. But she sees Duke and goes, oh my goodness, haven't seen you in a couple days. How you doing? Where have you been? Haven't seen you in a while. And he goes, hey, I found my parents. And she goes, yay! Yeah, they're insane in a mental asylum. Boo! And they're walking down the street and she's trying to encourage him and make him feel better. And meanwhile, Rico sees them from a block back and goes, hey, guys, it's me. And is running up, but sees Izzy give her big crush Duke a hug to try to console him, and then feels dejected and ducks into a store instead, where we see the most racist person in Gotham City.
And that's a real competition, I'm sure.
Racist redneck in all of Gotham City is just making life hell for the Pakistani store clerk. And like, oh, you're one of them tourists. I hate tourists. You should get out of my country. The only thing worse than you guys is those gosh darn Robins. And finally Rico snaps and just lays him out cold and just sits there angrily like, what the hell is wrong with this city? Meanwhile, Dax is hard at work trying to make all of Batman's wonderful toys. He went to shop class.
Yeah.
3 days
I can make
week.
a wooden gumball machine. I can make a coat rack. I
have this block of wood. I think it's a chopping block.
Yes.
It's just a block of wood, though. But he has made his first homemade grapple gun and is about to test it out and does so. A lot of scrapes and bruises from this endeavor, but it does work. And he's like, oh my god. Does it
bounce off the building as he's going up?
No, he's just like, he shoots it up and then just kind of steps off the building and then just slams into the wall and then just like bounces between walls and gargoyles. And he's like, ow, oof, ow, ooh, ow.
Does Sammy Davis Jr. stick his head out of the door? It's like, this crazy. Who's this crazy cat going up the side?
No, none of that. But he's all happy that it works and he can't wait to tell the others. And last but not least, consumed by rage, Dre, who has gone solo with a hybrid Robin Talon look. He's like the line between the Talons and the Robins. And he's going out to try to help people. And he runs across Smiley and the Jokers about to murder this family in an alleyway and helps them escape. But the Jokers are also able to escape to continue their reign of terror throughout Gotham. Surprisingly good. Surprisingly really good. It's that smaller story, I think it is. Now that we're zooming in, the characters have their personality archetypes now, and we know who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing it. It reads so much nicer, and this down-to-earth villain as far as the Jokers that everyone knows from the cartoon. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have
they're not showing up in Batman Beyond.
Nope. They're not going to be there. I doubt it. So Tim Drake's there. He'd probably join him. I mean, Tim's not very good at this stuff. I feel so bad that we just dogpile on Tim.
We've got to find a new character every couple months to keep it fresh.
Fair enough. But I think we're done with Tim. I think we got to give him a break. Okay. He's not going to get better if we keep beating him up.
I suppose.
I mean, we got to let him heal. We tore him down. Now let's let him build himself back. But no, it was really, really, really good. I was surprised. I was delightfully surprised. So it's not that the previous issues have been bad. It's just I didn't have any link to the characters, and now I feel I do.
Okay.
And that's all it takes for me, usually. So, but that's it. That's all of our books. Brian, we did it.
We did it.
We made it. We are the champions, my friend. Boom, boom. Chicky cherry cola. No? Nothing? Not at all? All right.
No trips through the Savage Garden.
Savage. So a reminder, you guys go out there and buy these books. I know we're coming up to the tail end of the DCU, of the new 52, of this quote-unquote chapter in the world of DC Comics. But as I've said before, it speaks more than just titles that survive. It's also tone. It's also characters. It's also everything. There are metrics upon metrics that are being watched by a corporation that makes this type of stuff. And what you buy, and even how you buy it, be it trade, singles, or digital, matters. It truly, truly does. So make sure you support what you like, but just buy what you can afford. That's all we can ask you to do. Don't go broke. Don't go chasing waterfalls. I mean, these are the 2 rules of buying comics. Just stick to the lakes and the rivers that you're used to. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Next week, more books. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I think Midnighter's in there. I'm pretty sure since I read the preview.
Yeah.
That looks fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So why don't you tell the lovely folks where they can find us on the internet if they want to yell at us, since my notes were kind of haphazard this week. And
well, I was going to say you find us on the internet, but you already said that. So just anything that says DCR podcast, type it into a search engine or something, you can find us.
But do be careful, because I think the Department of Colonoscopies and Rectology also has a DCR podcast.
Uh-oh.
Do not go to that one, because that's all about rectal surgery. So may not be what you're looking for.
Damn near killed him.
Oi. I keep getting, because I'm sorry. They use DCR podcasts. Same with a couple other people as well. And I get emails and stuff all the time from people looking for these shows. I'm like, nope, not us. And I'm worried if people are going out there looking for a DC podcast and getting rectal surgery advice. Like, man, DC's really gone out there with this DCU.
We'll talk about Batman a lot on that podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But yes, feel free to contact us. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. You know how it works. You guys are savvy enough. I'm sure you know how the internet works. But that's it for us. Brian, do you have anything before we jet for this week?
Not this week, no.
Wow. Look at you, toning it down. You listened to rules. I told you I wanted a shorter episode so we could fit it on the media server, and you didn't do it. Good job, buddy. We still went over, so you could have, but just letting you know. Me either. I got nothing. I got nada. Zero zip and all the big goose eggs. So until next week, everyone, enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives, and we will talk to you then.